Hey, what's up, guys? Xavier Calder here with High Octane Analysis, bringing you my Week 3 pick'ems, predictions here, who I think are going to win these games, and also have scores, over-unders too. So let's get right into it. So, in the Raiders versus Patriots game, I think this is going to be a really good game, and it could go either way, but I'm saying the Patriots win this one 28-20. I think the Raiders are not going to be able to pass against a very good Patriots secondary, including Gilmore, the McCourties, J.C. Jackson. Carr's playing really well. I think he has a 74 completion percentage and 4-0 touchdown interception ratio. But at the same time, Cam Newton, um, behind the top 10 Pats O line, is playing red hot. I don't think the Raiders have any way to stop him. Um, like I said, I could be wrong about this game. Josh Jacobs could go for 3 touchdowns and, you know, Derek Carr do the bare minimum to get this win, but I don't think that happens. I think Patriots shut down their pass. They shut down their run. I've never really seen the Patriots struggle that much against the run game. And, yeah, I think Cam Newton can do just enough to get this one pulled out for him, and I think the Patriots win 28-20, taking the over on that one. Um, for the Rams and the Bills, I have the Rams winning this one, actually. Have an upset. And I have the Rams winning by 3, 23-20. And I have this one under. And the reason I'm doing that is because I think both teams have exceptional defenses. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, um, White for the Bills. There's a lot of talent on the Bills defense. They lost one of their D tackles. I forget his name now, but he is maybe a Hall of Famer. He was a very good Pro Bowler. Kyle Williams, that's his name. They lost Kyle Williams, but they did pick up Ed Oliver. Um, Bills are still good. They were good last year defensively. They're good this year. And the only reason I really think that they're not going to do very well offensively, at least, is the fact that their offensive line is, bottom 15 in the league. They're going to be going against Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's going to get his pressures. Sam Darnold, um, he doesn't play well under pressure. I mean, it just really comes down to that, and I think Aaron Donald can put it on him. And I think that that's going to be able to cause the Rams to pull this one up by 3. Last second field goal. We'll see. It's going to be a great game. Great game. Pittsburgh versus Texans. I think Pittsburgh's D line feasts this game. I think it is undeniable what the Pittsburgh D line is going to do after watching the first 2 games. Pittsburgh, very talented. T.J. Watt, Hayward, Bud Dupree. I mean, that's a 3-headed monster on that team. All 3 of them get pressures. All 3 of them play the run well. Well, T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward play the run well. Bud Dupree could, morph into that, but right now he is still an exceptional pass rusher. Minkah Fitzpatrick led secondary. I think Deshaun Watson's going to struggle all night solely from the pressure. Pittsburgh's secondary isn't that great other than Minkah Fitzpatrick, but still yet. Deshaun Watson's going to be under fire all night. That O-line for the Texans is going to struggle. And if we talk about the Texans on the other side of the ball, they honestly look awful. Like, terrible. Other than J.J. Watt, their defensive line is terrible. The secondary's bad. Roby's regressing. Hargraves isn't doing any better. I don't think the Texans have what it takes to beat Pittsburgh. And I have Pittsburgh 24-7 and Pittsburgh 24, Texans 17, and I'm taking the under on that one. 49ers Giants taking the under, and I'm saying 49ers 20, Giants 13. This is a no-brainer to me. 49ers might score more, but Giants suck. Just flat out, Giants suck. Uh, The Niners seem to be missing half of their team. You know, Kittle is questionable. They're missing Garoppolo, Mostert, Coleman, D Ford, Dre Greenlaw, and them are big misses. But they're going to be having McKinnon come in, play running back. He might be revitalizing career after signing that huge contract and then getting injured. They do have a good offensive line, the 49ers, so it's probably going to be a pretty run dominant team. That's why I have the score so low, or run dominant game. Um, yeah, I mean Giants. You really can't look to one spot on their team and be like, oh, they're good at this area. They lost Saquon. Andrew Thomas is playing terrible. Will Hernandez is playing mediocre for what he should be playing. Um, yeah, and the rest of the offensive line even worse. Nick Mullins is a good backup, great backup, honestly. He might be the best backup in the league. Yeah, I see the 49ers being able to get this win, no issue. 2013 Niners roll. Taking the under on that one. Okay. Titans at the Vikings. See here. What did I have? Titans 28, Vikings 20. Took the under on that. And I said the Vikings looked terrible Sunday. Flat out. They looked awful Sunday versus the Colts. Could not run the ball. Consequently, Kirk Cousins couldn't throw. The Colts' run defense is good. They have DeForest Buckner, Houston, Danico Autry. They have a very good defensive line, and then now they're getting people like Bobby Akere. Of course, Darius Leonard. Their front seven is really designed to stop the run. So I wasn't really surprised when we stopped the run, but Kirk Cousins seemed to be under pressure, and I think this Titans team can get pressure. And whenever he was under pressure, he was just playing terrible. He was just very sporadic. Did not look comfortable back there, and I think the Titans defense wins them this game. The Titans, just as good as they are pass wise, they're even better run wise. Their personnel, their offensive line, defensive line should control the trenches, both sides of the ball. Like I said, the Vikings looked terrible Sunday, and it wasn't, even as bad as the offense played, the defensive line for the Vikings looked, abysmal. They need overhaul. Other than Yannick Ngakoue, not a single one of them deserve to be anywhere near a starting NFL role. Titans secondary, they're up there too. People like Vaccaro, Byard, Joseph, Malcolm Butler. Yeah, I think the Titans have what it takes to pull this one out. So I have the Titans winning 28-20 versus the Vikings, and I have that one as an under. Washington versus Browns. It's going to be an intriguing one. I do have the Browns winning by 10, though, 30-20. I have that over. I said Mayfield continues his success against a poor Washington secondary. When I say poor, I mean very poor. Washington secondary is water. It is just weak. Their only bright spot Washington really has is a receiver that was a rookie last year. I forget his name now. And their defensive line including Matthew Ioannidis, one of the strongest players in the NFL, and Chase Young, who we all know just got drafted. Other than that, you know who the Browns have: OBJ, Hooper, Mayfield, Nick Chubb. They have a great running back core. Offensive line's decent, good enough to get the job done. I'm interested to see how their offensive line fares against this defensive line of Washington, but I still think the Browns have what it takes to pull that one out 30-20. Dwayne Haskins hasn't impressed me. Their offense just isn't that good. They drafted that running back. Can't remember his name right now. Antonio maybe something. He's super big, super fast, like a freak athlete size. like 6'2", 230, running like a 4.3. He's a freak of nature, but still, yet he's not a very good runner. And Washington's offensive line is, we don't even want to talk about that, man. Terrible. Um, so yeah, I'm taking pretty confidently Browns win that 30-20 with the over. Eagles versus Bengals. Um, yeah, I think the Eagles win this one by more than. Yeah, I think they cover the spread. That's over. 27 Eagles, Bengals 20. Um, I think Wentz has a good day. Cincinnati Bengals defense is water, to say the least. They're terrible. They're just weak. Cincinnati's defensive front, they have injuries right now. Their best defensive lineman's out. The only bright spot on this whole two bright spots, and that's running back Joe Mixon, quarterback Joe Burrow. Other than that, offensive line play terrible for the Cincinnati Bengals. Receivers AJ Brown, he's old. John Ross, in my opinion, is looking like a bust. He could get better, could revitalize his career, but he's not. He's not yet. Well, this is, we're gonna have to wait and see. It's just third game of the season, but still, yet he doesn't look very impressive. I think Joe Burrow, the reason he can't win this game, and the reason I have this even this close, this 7-point game, Bengals 20, Eagles 27, is just because Joe Burrow is so good. Joe Burrow himself, him being hit all day against this Eagles squad that has Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, is going to make plays. That's what he's going to do. You saw it against the Browns. Myles Garrett led Browns, and you're going to see it versus these Eagles. But I do not think they will even keep it close. I think this could easily be a 10-point differential, but right now I'm going to leave it at 7 because I think Joe Burrow is going to make plays. So again, that's Bengals 20, Eagles 27. Now I'm taking the over on that one. Next one up is Bears versus Falcons. Bears versus Falcons. Matt Ryan is playing great. Not MVP Matt Ryan status, but he's playing good. He's playing like a Pro Bowler Matt Ryan, every other season he does. He's playing great. I think the Bears are going to slow him down a bit just because of their defensive front, Khalil Mack, you know who they got. But Mitch won't be able to play well enough to keep up with him. That being said, Mitch Trubisky is just, I'm going to be honest, he's just not the answer. He's not the answer for the Bears. He's not who they need. They need somebody else, and I don't think he can beat this Falcon squad with even without Julio. Even without Julio, they still got Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst. Matt Ryan's going to get it done with them. That's all he needs to beat this Bear secondary. Only way they even lose is if an improved Falcons offensive line from last year just has a meltdown. Like, they have to have a meltdown, and Khalil Mack has to have like 4 sacks for them to really win this game, I feel like. I would say this would be plus 10 if Julio was for sure here, but he's not, so I'm calling this a under 26-20. Saying the Falcons roll 26 to Bears 20. I think they do cover the spread. Not even going to talk about this one much. Jets Colts. This should be a butt whooping for the Jets. This should be bad. Colts defensive line's red hot. They're just coming off a great game. DeForest Buckner looks world beater, maybe all pro-esque right now. Jets are mediocre. I mean, that's what it comes down to. They just have nothing. Their offensive line's terrible except for one person, Mekhi Becton, and he's a rookie. Defensive line, terrible except for one person. Can't remember his name right off. Quinnen Williams. Except for Quinnen Williams. They traded Adams. They're, one of the best safeties in the league, if not the best. I know they got all the draft picks, but right now Jets are definitely rebuilding. Sam Darnold doesn't have time in the pocket ever to find reads. And it's not, like I said, it's not because of Mekhi Becton. Mekhi Becton is playing phenomenal. He did great against Joey Bosa. He's holding down that left tackle spot. But, If you don't have the four others along with you, it's just useless. Useless. I mean, on paper, the Colts are just a far more superior team than the Jets. They have better coaching. I say the Colts win this one 28-13, and I'm taking the under on that one. I think Colts just come out, run the ball down their throat, and, play possession, win this game easy. Uh, Panthers versus Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers this one. Taking the over. I'm taking Chargers 28, Panthers 17. So the spread is covered on this one. Flat out, pretty much this is what it comes down to. No CMC means the Panthers do not score. Panthers do not score. They'll find a couple touchdowns, but other than that, I do not see the Panthers moving this ball. Herbert looked pretty good in his debut. He wasn't great. He had a few missed balls. One in the end zone, he just kind of underthrew. The Panthers, young D-line in secondary, young secondary, Jeremy Chin, Gross Matos, Derek Brown, they just don't look good right now. They have tons of potential. They still got another couple years really to prove themselves, but as of now, they're not really they're not playing how I expected them to play by now. And it could be because of the season, no preseason, stuff like that, but still yet. I just don't see them being a real big factor against the Chargers, even with a bad offensive line. I think Justin Herbert, with his great receiving core, is going to go out there and get it done. And the Chargers' solidified defense, they're already known. You know who they are. Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa. Derwin James not in there, but he hasn't been in there in a while. As it is, they're a good team. They're solidified defense, and I think they pull that one out pretty handily, 28-17. Again, taking the over on that one. And we're on to Cardinals and Lions. I said in this one, the quarterbacks would both have big games. Lions and Cardinals both have pretty lackluster defenses. Cardinals statistically have a good defense right now, but both teams they played have not been. 49ers beat up. I'm still not sold. Simmons, that the Cardinals drafted out of Clemson, he's not playing well from what I've seen. It's just going to be an all-offense game. It's going to be fun to watch. Stafford going to throw his 3 touchdowns. Cardinals quarterback going to do the same. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. Offensively, defense not going to be there to speak, but I'm taking the Cardinals 33, Lions 27, taking the over on that one. Bucks hit Broncos. Before the season, I would have called this game a lot closer. Before the injury of Von Miller and Drew Lock, Brady had a good showing week 2, and I think he gets it done against the Broncos, missing a few key players. I don't think Broncos can keep up scoring-wise without Drew Lock, and I think Tom Brady will pick the defense apart with no pass rush other than Bradley Chubb. And, Bucks offensive line looked pretty good. Tristan Wirfs had a hell of a showing week 2. 87 PFF grade. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, I think Bucks have what it takes to beat the Broncos on this one. Especially no quarterback. They're going to be running the ball a lot, and the Bucks have, great run defense. And I think they roll 30-20 over the Broncos. Now, this is going to be a good game. Cowboys versus Seahawks. And in this one, I think Russell Wilson continues his reign of dominance against the Cowboys. He tore up the Patriots secondary, and you know who the Patriots secondary is. Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, the McCourties. He tore them apart, and I do not believe the Cowboys have what it takes to stop him. Russell Wilson is a one-man wrecking machine right now. He is just dotting every player in the secondary on any team he wants up. Dak will play well. especially with his road grading offensive line. Seahawks defensive line's pretty terrible this year. That's their biggest knock I have. Um, but as good as Dak will play, he will not be able to keep up with Wilson. Not a chance. If the Cowboys want any chance of winning this game, they're going to have to run the ball and play possession game against, like I said, a weak Seahawks defensive line. But I don't think they'll do that. I think Russell Wilson would get up 7 or 10 early on in the third. Desperation mode kicks in, and I think Dak tries to have a shootout with him, and I think it ends poorly for him, and I think the Seahawks win 35, Cowboys 27. I'm taking the over on that one. Saints versus Packers. I have the Packers beating the Saints 28-26. Breeze week 2, that Monday night football game versus the Raiders looked like he was regressing. That was maybe the worst version of Drew Brees I've ever seen. I saw some crazy statistics saying the last 2 seasons he hasn't thrown the ball more than 20 yards, or 25-yard completion, or 30-yard, 40 yards, something like that. Something he doesn't go deep, and that's cool and all. That's a cool statistic, but what I saw Monday looked like Drew Brees losing his arm a bit, and I just don't think he'll have what it takes to beat this Packers squad. Not only is Drew Brees regressing, but Aaron Rodgers isn't. Aaron Rodgers is playing phenomenal. Aaron Jones looked like one of the best running backs in the league, even though he is, but he showed it week 2. Um, Saints offensive line though, they should create space. They should create space for Kamara to run the ball. Hopefully Brees won't have to pass that much this game from what I've seen Monday night. But I wouldn't go away from Brees. It's Drew Brees. It's Drew Brees. Drew Brees is going to make Drew Brees plays. That's just what it comes down to. He's going to make the right reads. It's just going to be interesting to see how he does it, especially against a well-coached Packers squad. Packers D line, even though as good as the Saints offensive line is, because it is very good, top 3 for sure. They might be second behind the Colts offensive line, or third. Either way, like I'm saying, they're good. The Packers D line gets a good rush. It's just going to be interesting to see this game. Like I said, I have the Packers winning 28-26. It's going to be close. I'm taking the over on that one. I could be wrong about this one. When I do my notes, I take a pin, underline games I could be wrong about. And this could be one. Saints could easily win this one. Packers could easily win this one. It's going to be one or the other. But I think Saints don't win this game. Chiefs versus Ravens. Oh man, what a game. This is one everyone is waiting for. Week 3 matchup, Monday Night Football. Patrick Mahomes lining up against the reigning MVP Lamar Jackson. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Both teams will have a decent night on the ground, running back-wise. Not Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson's going to do Lamar Jackson things. He's going to scramble on 3rd down, 3rd and 5, get his first downs. You know how he does. Ravens have a top 5 offensive line. It's going to minimize Jones's impact for the Chiefs. That's really going to hurt them because they really rely on him defensively to get back there. But I think the Ravens are going to keep a double team on him with good offensive linemen. I think it's going to slow him down. That's going to give Lamar Jackson time to make his reads against a secondary for the Chiefs that isn't great. They're good. Don't get me wrong. Tyrann Mathieu, he's back there. They're good, but they're not great. I think Lamar Jackson, who is an elite passer himself, can make the necessary adjustments and make the necessary reads to beat this team and score. That being said, Chiefs' offensive line isn't that good. They're decent. They're not they're not good though. They're not great. And I think people like Calais Campbell for the Ravens are going to get back there. They're going to get pressure on Mahomes, and that's going to be really the determining factors for what wins this game. Taking the Ravens 33 versus the Chiefs. They do not cover the spread, in my opinion. I think the Ravens win this on a game-winning field goal, and I'm taking the over on this one. Yeah, going to be some great games. I'm interested to see the Saints, Packers, Chiefs, Ravens, um, Rams and Bills, Raiders and Pats. That's the 4 games I think that are going to be the best ones. But other than that, I think the rest of them are no-brainers. I think Pittsburgh beats on the Texans like a drum. I think the Niners beat on the Giants, even though they're beat up themselves. I think the Browns beat Washington. Titans are beating the Vikings after that Week 2 performance. Um, Falcons Bears could be a good game. Just great offense versus great defense, but I think the Bears offense is so bad that it won't make it a good game. Honestly. But yeah, I think Chargers beat the Panthers. Panthers just they're not coming along yet, and I don't think they're doing it week 3. You know, like I said, going to be some good games. Really excited about this Ravens Chiefs game. I hope that's a good game. I hope that doesn't somehow go one-sided. I hope it's a Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes shootout, offense extravaganza. But hey, if you're still here, I thank you for being here. I really appreciate you coming to this video, giving me a listen to what I got to say. If you got any opinions about this, just let me know. Drop some comments. And drop a like, drop a subscribe. This is Xavier Cottle. I'm going to be signing off of this video. Thanks for watching.